I know you've been supporting the leanin.org's work as regards biases in the workplace and that sort of thing. How important is diversity, and that diversity of thought in business?
Diversity should go without saying. At Virgin, we're by no means perfect, but there should be roughly 50% women in the boardrooms, 50% women roughly working within companies, 50%. The gay population's roughly 10% of the population, so there should be roughly 10% gay people working in any company. It shouldn't almost be something one needs to talk about. But because it doesn't happen, people need to proactively try to make it happen. Sweden, Norway, they actually force companies by law to take 40% women on their boards, and they found that as a result, the companies have performed that much better. And I suppose there is a danger that if you leave it to men who run a lot of these companies to change their boards to getting more women on, it may never happen. So you may need some laws to speed it up.
Very good. And for a long time, diversity within organisations fell into CSR. But there's an argument now, a very strong argument, that you get better innovation if you have, diverse groups. Is that?
You get better everything if you have diverse groups. Imagine being a retailer of women's clothes and having 10 men on the board, which a lot of women's clothing companies have. You need people who actually know what they're talking about on your boards, and a company's much better for it.
And there's an argument as well that talent is attracted to companies that are, that do good, that are open-minded, that embrace diversity. Do you think from the point of view of attracting talent, that's a very important thing for a company?
100%. I think people want to work for a company where they feel the company is not just a money-making machine, but it cares about its people. It gets the right balance of diversity within its company. It has flexibility, for women, as far as, if they have a child, it gives them a year off, or they can have a fully paid or year off, sharing it with their man. It enables people to work from home if they want to work from home. All these things are critical to try to get to get a company behaving in a decent way.
And finally, we're very proud in Ireland that we passed by public plebiscite equal marriage. I gather Virgin has been very supportive of campaigns for equal marriage in places like Australia. We would have our own theories about this, but do you think it is very positive for an economy and for a business ecosystem when that happens in a country?
I think treating people with dignity is important in any country. I was once prosecuted in Ireland for selling condoms in our Virgin megastores. Now the idea that your country would not sell condoms is just a non-event. People know that you have to wear condoms to stop spread of diseases and stop people getting pregnant and so on. The whole debate about gay marriage, it was a major furore in Ireland. Now it's happening. It's a non-event. Having clinics for abortions, at the moment you're not allowed to do it, and people have to suffer by going overseas to have an abortion. One day it will be allowed, and it will become a non-event. And so I think you've got to treat people with dignity. I think the Pope has been magnificent this last week in speaking out on issues. Way ahead of a lot of his own church. Getting rid of capital punishment. Anyway, just and pretty well everything he says I've agreed with. There are some things he's left unsaid, but my guess is that he would say that on almost every issue, treat people with dignity.